Whenever we change the image size inside of Photoshop, we're actually changing the pixel information, and the picture can change. It can squash or stretch depending on the image dimensions that you put in when you change that image size. Now, sometimes you might just want to change the canvas size while keeping the original size of the image. And the canvas is basically what you see in Photoshop, and it's where all of the layers are contained. So we can actually change the file size or the canvas size while maintaining the original aspect ratio of this image. So let's take a look at how that works. If we go to the top and we click on Image, we can go down to Canvas Size, and you can see the shortcut key here, Alt-Control-C, or Option-Command-C for Mac OS. So we'll click that, and here we have some information. We have the current size, so it's a 7.03 megabyte image, a width of 1920 pixels, with a height of 1280 pixels, and then we have the new size. Whenever we put in a new width and height, it's going to change the amount of information. So if we use less pixels, the file size will actually be smaller. We can also tell if we want to use relative pixels or not. We're not going to worry about that right now, but it says indicates whether new size dimensions are absolute or relative. We want to use absolute numbers at this moment. And then it shows an anchor point. This is where it's going to actually cut off the canvas, and I'll show you how that works also. Then finally, if we're making a bigger image or a bigger canvas than the original image, we can change what the canvas extension color is going to look like. So it can be foreground, background, white, black, gray, or any other color here. We'll just leave it as is. So let's go ahead and make a bigger canvas. So we're going to make this canvas 3000 pixels by 3000 pixels. And we're going to leave it in the center, and the background is going to fill with this background white color. Now what's going to happen is the image is going to stay the same size. It's still going to be its 1920 by 1280 pixel size. However, we're going to add more canvas to this document. So click OK. And you can see what happens here. Now I'm going to zoom out so we can see this a little better. And as you can see, we have the original image. It has not changed. This is still 1920 pixels by 1280 pixels. But we made the canvas 3000 by 3000. So the actual document, and if you look in the background layer here, you can see that it's 3000 by 3000, and the document properties also show that it's 3000 by 3000. So I'm going to undo that, and let's take a look at if we wanted to make this smaller. So I'm going to go back to Image and click on Canvas Size. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do another square, only this time it's going to be a smaller square, 1000 by 1000. And of course, like I said, because we're using less pixels, the size is smaller, 2.86 megabytes compared to the 7.03 megabytes of the original image. And because there's not going to be any extension, the canvas extension color is now grayed out. There's nothing to choose there because it's not going to add any extra. It's actually going to take away. So we're going to stay in the center, and let's take a look at what this looks like. And it's going to tell us the new canvas size is smaller than the current canvas size. Some clipping will occur. That basically means that some of this image is going to be clipped or cropped out, and that's okay. We can go ahead and proceed. Now you can see what has happened here. The canvas size has changed, but the original image size has not. So even though we made the canvas or the file size smaller, 1000 by 1000, our original image size is still just as big. Now I'm going to go ahead and undo that and go back to our original image, and I will show you what the anchor points do. The anchor points is going to tell where in this image we want to anchor our clipping. So if we put the top left corner, we're actually going to anchor here, and then it's going to clip 1000 by 1000 from the center of where that anchor point is, which is in the top left corner. Same thing with the center, the top center, top right, and so forth. So go back up to Image, and let's go to Canvas Size. And we're going to change this again, 1000 to 1000. And this time instead, we're going to click on the left arrow here. You can see it changes the anchor point, and now when it clips the 1000 to 1000, it'll be doing it from the center left-hand side. So let's hit OK. We'll hit Proceed like before, and you can see that it's taken the left part of this image. So we are anchored in the center here on the left side of this image, and it's clipped the 1000, 1000 around that anchor point. We can also do something such as the top left. This will work the same way, only this time it's going to clip to more of the top left section. So we'll hit proceed. And now you can see there's more of this picture here because it's clipping the top left, whereas before we were getting a little more of that espresso image at the bottom here. And that works around the whole board for the anchor points. So we can clip toward the bottom, and we can put in any size we want. Maybe we want to keep the 920 size here, but we want the height to not be as tall so that we get maybe just these bottom three. Now I don't know the exact height to use here, I'm just kind of guessing, but we're going to anchor it to the bottom. We're going to keep the width, so we should see all three of these, but we're using a smaller height and hopefully just getting this half. Actually, if we were to take 1280 in half, it would be 640. Let's just try that. And we should just get the bottom half of this document. So we'll hit proceed, and there we go. We kept the width, we anchored to the bottom, so this is where our anchor point is, and we are using a height of 640 pixels, which is cutting off just the bottom and centering everything up. So that's how you can change the canvas size inside of Photoshop, which is different than changing the image size. And depending on what you need or what you're doing, you'll want to know how to use both of those. So as you begin working with your documents, you can change them appropriately.